What's up, guys? And Navajero here. Wanted to bring you guys a new addition to the collection. This is the Miguron Moyarl. I had been eyeing this knife for a while, and I finally was able to pick it up secondhand. So this is not brand new, and there is some definite details that I need to address on this one. In particular because of that. But other than that, I just wanted to give my thoughts on this. Also, another thing I wanted to show off is this logo my daughter made for me. Absolutely love it. Just really cool. I'll probably be keeping it in all the videos now. So yeah, getting back to this Miguron. This is my first Miguron. So really excited about that. And I definitely see what all the hype is about with these Micarons. The quality is very good. There is a lot of details that obviously a lot of budget knives don't offer. And yeah, let's get into it. So first things first, the knife is a black micarta here, the handles I should say. And the micarta feels really good. I absolutely love how the micarta feels on this. It's not super slippery. It does have a nice grip. I'm not sure if you guys can hear that right there. And yeah, I mean, the all-around look of the micarta, you know, it has some lighter to darker, you know, finishes on there. I really love this micarta. We have a titanium pocket clip, of course, which they are known for. And yeah, that's a cool detail that, again, most companies, you know, when you're talking sub, you know, $70 you know, they are not going to offer you that titanium pocket clip or titanium anything. So really cool for Miguron to do that. Again, they're rocking 14C28N, pretty much one of their go-to steels, or I should say their go-to steel. And this is a beautiful satin finish on this. Absolutely love the shape of this knife. Also nice drop point with the cutout here for deployment. Nice flat grind on this and the satin lines on there. It's a little dirty because I've been using it, but really nice finish on this. I absolutely love the all-around design. It just is very aesthetically pleasing. Not anything, you know, super special, but I think in particular, it does not come off as a budget knife. It looks really nice. And yeah, just comparing it maybe to the size, this is more of a medium-sized knife. Definitely fills up my hand, and I have smaller to medium-sized hands. So kind of comparing it to my pyrite here, a little bit bigger than the pyrite. And also my pilar, move this up a little bit. Again, bigger than the pilar. And lastly, what I'm carrying today, my cubit. And of course, bigger than the cubit. So that kind of gives you an idea, you know, how big it is. And again, it is a, you know, more medium-sized knife. You're going to get a good handle on this, which again, the handles are contoured micarta, which are really nicely contoured. It definitely rounds off on the edges really nice, so you have a very secure grip on here. And because of that titanium pocket clip, when you grip it in the palm of your hand, you're not feeling that that clip. So it's very comfortable in hand, absolutely comfortable in both the normal handle or the choke up. So they give you a little choke up, not a traditional choil, but it's more of a landing pad that drops off like this. So obviously you get also a nice sharpening choil. So yeah, you do, you know, killing two birds with one stone with that for Miguron. And yeah, this is, you know, very comfortable, very secure. You're going to be able to do, you know, all your cuts and feel super comfortable, and it's going to be reliable. So absolutely love that. There's a lot to love on this knife. Again, I got this secondhand, so as you will notice, if you hadn't already, the Miguron sign here, or the Let me close this up so you guys can see it a little bit better. This is not straight down as it should be. It's a little bit off to the side, as you can tell, the pivot. This was an issue when I received it. I did have blade play, side to side and up and down, but because this is a captive pivot, I'm not sure if this was from manufacturing or if the person that had it before tried to do some modifications. I'm not sure, but the actual captive pivot is pretty much a little tab on the Micarta that lines up with the pivot of this. I mean, I'll try and show pictures so you guys can see what I'm talking about, but yeah, it wasn't lined up, so I had to make some adjustments. Luckily, I was able to fix it. It just is off center. It's not going to be straight. So yeah, I'm not sure if that's how any other Migurons come. Haven't heard of it, so I don't think you guys should worry about it, but I thought I should just address that because when I received it, I was kind of like, whoa, this thing's super loose, but again, I got it secondhand, so I knew what I was getting into. Other than that, the one thing, I mean, I've touched on most of the goods on this knife. Oh, and another one, you have T8s all around, even on the pocket clip, so that is amazing. Every company needs to do that. Definitely much appreciated. So another, great, thing about this knife. But getting into now the things that, I found a little bit, that I didn't like. Definitely the tension on these Omega springs. This being an axis lock, it does function well. It doesn't have any movement side to side, up and down, which typically, maybe even with time, you will get some on this one, but typically you do have a little bit of play even on brand new knives that have axis lock. So, that's not a bad thing just because if your lockup is still good, there's nothing to worry about. But this one, it seems to have everything dialed in very well. There is no movement in the blade either. A lot of times when you have a knife half open like this, you want to kind of just move it up and down right here, and you will feel some movement on some knives. This one doesn't have anything. So that just lets me know that the quality and the CNC work that they did was really high quality. So everything fits nicely. Everything is milled nicely. All the details are there. But again, the Omega springs are very soft on this. So it makes for a very lackluster deployment. And yeah, it's very mushy, not, snapping out with authority as other knives, that I own that have crossbar locks do. So that was something a little bit, that not my favorite. You can change those out, so it's not a deal breaker. I definitely am looking into possibly getting some new Omega springs. Not sure where's the best place. I have heard that Amazon has some. So I might just get that just because they are pretty much readily available. But other than that, another thing, again, access locks, it doesn't really matter because you're not going to have a very strong detent, you know what I mean? But it just, the detent is very soft. So again, you can kind of, flick it out without pulling back those, the crossbar. So as you can tell here, you see, it just comes out so easily. So again, that's another thing that I, don't really like. And surprisingly, the titanium pocket clip, I absolutely love the design of this. I already scratched it, as you can tell. And the in and out of pocket is great. But it rides so low, the pocket clip on the scales, that you have this much right here, as you can tell, sticking out of your pocket. Now, I'm not the type to complain about that because I use, again, my knives mostly for work. So the accessibility to a knife is great. But I do carry, outside of work. And a lot of the times I don't want to have people just seeing that I have a knife in my pocket. That's why I do much prefer, a deep carry pocket clip, for example, like on this Pyrite, so that it's not just sticking out. I don't mind some that stick out maybe, 10% or, let's say 15% out, you know what I mean? But this one, you know, you're getting maybe about a fourth of the knife, you know, sticking out. And, you know, it is, it's not uncomfortable, but it is, you know, just, I feel like it can catch on things, it can scratch on things. It's just, I personally don't like how low this rides. I'll try and put a picture of how it rides in my pocket just so you guys can get an example. But yeah, again, not a deal breaker, but not the ideal. And then lastly, no gyms. If you followed me for any amount of time, I love my gimping. There's no gimping. So very smooth on here on the top of the blade here, which is fine. You know, you can still choke up right here and still put your thumb on there to, you know, make some push cuts and stuff, or just put more pressure on your cuts. But ultimately, if you had gimping, you would be more secure. That's just, you know, what it is. So yeah, they definitely, you know, left us without the gymps, and that's pretty sad because those gymps would have made a huge difference, I think, as far as the comfort and the usability of this knife. Came pretty sharp. This, you know, for being 14C28N, it strops up very, very nicely and sharpens up very nicely. So not the best cutter. The blade thickness is okay. I'm not sure on, you know, how thick the blade is, but I know for a fact it's not thin. You know, the flat grind does help, but since it is a longer, you know, and kind of thicker blade, you know, it does, you know, take a little bit longer to get through cuts. So yeah, it's not the best slice or anything, but I could see somebody, you know, every day carrying this, you know, just for, you know, their daily tasks and stuff. It being a crossbar lock, you know, I guess you can say it is meant for harder use, but I wouldn't, you know, necessarily say this is for hard use. But yeah, there's a lot to love on this, and a lot of things that I think Miguron could have done to just give it that little extra, you know, step in the right direction to make it a 10 out of 10, you know. But you know, not every, like I say, not every knife is perfect, and not one knife is for everybody. But yeah, this one is definitely cool. I'm super happy that I checked this out. I think personally I would go for the liner lock version. So I might just end up you know, getting that one to kind of compare. But just because I personally just like liner locks better. I like the detent feel and being able to flick it. And again, this has a hole, so I absolutely love hole deployments, but it's not as satisfying on a crossbar. So if you're looking for a satisfying knife to deploy, reverse flick or anything like that, this one might not be the best option unless you change those Omega springs, and they really do make a difference. I'm not sure. But yeah, that is the Miguron Moyarl and my thoughts on it. If you guys have anything you guys want to add, go ahead and drop it down in the comments down below. And please consider subscribing. I am getting to my 1,000 subscribers, sorry, fairly soon. And I will be doing a giveaway, which one of the considerations for that is maybe this Miguron Moyarl. So yeah, guys, have a good one. Later.